Welcome to another episode of Review Advent Calendar 2023. This time around we're going to talk about Sir Vanity's Toumei no Watashi. This is a suggestion by Unwelcome. So let's start this review. For starters, this is a really funky intro. This is an intro that only Satoru Kuwabara could have created because he is a master when it comes to making something really playful, adding elements of jazz in there, the Rhodes piano and the funky guitars as well. So mixing a little bit of 70s, 80s funk with jazz music as well as a bit of pop rock. It works already really well for the start of this song. Creating a really refined setting for you to enjoy Toumei no Watashi. Just listen first. Yoshiki Nakajima's vocals are top tier, and they can be really melodic. This is actually his natural tone, not the tones that he usually uses for other 2D music projects. In here, with Sir Vanity, this is his natural singing tone, and he sounds a bit different from usual, especially if you are not used to listening basically to him either with Toumei or with Sir Vanity. But also, he sounds really melodic, but underneath it all, almost underneath, I will say underneath, but it's already taking the soundscape over, and is actually standing out the most is the bass line. Satoru Kuwabara is first and foremost a composer, and then he's a bassist, and he's actually a multi-instrumentalist. He plays a lot of instruments, but the bass is usually his favorite, and you can tell by how punchy and how groovy it sounds already in so early into this song. Melodic. Yuichiro Umehara has grown a lot, and he sounds really good so far. And as a matter of fact, in this CD, Midnight Sun, it does sound really melodic. It's worth mentioning that Sir Vanity has two lyricists, Yoshiki Nakajima and Yuichiro Umehara, has two vocals, also the same people, and has two guitars at least, sometimes three guitars, and Yuichiro Umehara and Yoshiki Nakajima play the guitars. That's why you have different guitar parts playing in each of your ears. You do have one more melodic and the other more in legato, for example. It is interesting, and it adds up that idea of the group or the band has a dual charm in here, as well as, let's say yet again, the Rhodes piano is adding a layer of lush elegance to this song. That's a really good build-up, and that's something that already tells me that this is going to be a really funky chorus, almost danceable, if not entirely danceable. And of course, let's hear it. Ah, head voice sounds really good. Yuichiro Umehara of course can't hit high notes, so he's really doing his best as a low vocal in here. In the baritone range, I would say low baritone range, and Yoshiki Nakajima is going really for his true vocal range, which is tenor, and he's really going for those high notes, crazy high notes. When they end up working together, in this case they are almost harmonizing in a way, they are complementing each other and they do not overstep their boundaries in here, because you can listen to both clearly and cleanly, because they are in completely different vocal tones and spectrums in here. You can listen to them clearly in here. And let me tell you, you also can listen to them clearly because each of them is in a different ear if you are listening to the song with headphones. Their voices converge at center, but they are each on their own side. Really jolly, the Rhodes piano. It's really jolly, and in a way the instrumental reminds me of, I would say, early 2000s, late 2000s Shido. It's a really awesome band, acid jazz band. Well, used to be a Visual Kei band. They are unbelievable when it comes to these specific style of music. This almost sounds like acid jazz in a way. That bounce in the drums with that snare, really warm snare, and then that bass line that is going really, really low and continues to go low, makes the song so bouncy that you are listening to it but you can't stop dancing or jamming along to it. I did enjoy that feel, exchanging hands in there and mixing and crossing in there. It was really, really neat. And now you slow down things, and then you add some elements from trap music. You are slowing down the tempo to a ridiculous amount in comparison with the normal tempo in the song. You are adding the triplets that arrive really slow-paced to add a little bit of drama and add in some way a different twist to this song, and putting the whole, or the complete focus in this case, in the vocals. Listen to those funky guitar riffs on your left. Oof, that bass line. Oof. Too good, too good. Sir Vanity impressed me this year, and I must say they were the group that actually left me a massive mark in 2023. They ended up arriving to this thing of, we have a band, we are creating music just for fun, but if this is music just for fun, it's of better quality than music that some artists say that it is serious. So this already goes to show that the group is really talented, the band in this case is really talented. Of course, when you have Satoru Kuwabara back with the group, not only composing the songs, but also actively playing the bass with the band, you also get really interesting things. I do feel that Satoru Kuwabara is one of the great creatives that we have currently for 2D music. And if you are a fan, for example, of the Ensemble Stars franchise, the music is supervised by himself, and some of the songs are actually composed by him. He is actually one of those best composers for 2D music, but actually he does much more than that. And when he lends his talents to bands, and when he makes, or when he joins bands or different projects, he also shows that it's not only the music that he creates for others that is really fun, but also the music that he creates for himself and for his projects is also ridiculously fun. I do love that the bass is the starting point for his creations. Usually composers either start music by playing on the piano or playing guitar, but in this case you notice that Sir Vanity, the songs they may start from the guitars of Yoshiki Nakajima and Yuichiro Umehara, but actually the rest of the song is going to be around the bass line that Satoru Kuwabara is basically adding to the song. And this is crazy. I do love when we have a good bass line in a song, but when the bass line takes over and it's so punchy, so fun, so bouncy that makes you want to dance, even if the song is not really danceable. It's a good way to actually show that the bass that usually is overlooked in compositions is actually a fantastic instrument and that can add so much life to a song, and a good example of that is Toumei no Watashi. This is a minimalistic song with an acid jazz twist, which is a very first time for Sir Vanity. It fits them well, it fits their voices, it fits their bass work. Their drums are simple and do the job perfectly for what they are required to do in an acid jazz type of song. They are not as unpredictable as you would have expected if, for example, these had been more towards jazz than towards pop rock, but they are still quite interesting to listen to. Of course, what steals the show for me in the instrumental is the bass line, but it's also worth mentioning that the guitars are doing an amazing job creating that funky setting that feels almost like you are watching the sunset while resting at a lounge doing basically nothing, just staring into the horizon. It feels good, it is a relaxing song in a way. It's also danceable, and if you feel basically like dancing, do dance along to this song because it is really, really fun. This song was already performed live during the band's second live show, and it was really a fan favorite. I can understand why. When I reviewed it, I also understood that this song was going to be a hit live, and actually it turned out to be. So it is really, really good that fans really enjoyed these different sides of Sir Vanity. The same band that a couple of songs before had been releasing hard rock with some hardcore influences, now was creating acid jazz, which is the polar opposite in terms of tone and vibe. And in terms of technicalities, it is required a completely different skill set, both from the vocals and from the instrumentals. The composition needs to be created in a completely different way when it comes to acid jazz in comparison to hardcore, for example, or traditional rock. So this song, Toumei no Watashi, is amazing. I would love for more people to get into this song as well as Sir Vanity, because I look at Sir Vanity as a band that has a big and bright future. If they continue to release music for fun, and we keep getting things like Toumei no Watashi and everything else that is in Midnight Sun, then we are going to have a really fun band to listen to that doesn't really care for basically the rules or what is trendy or what people really want. They are creating music that they love, that they want, and that they want to show, which is something that already basically shows that the band has a good mindset. They are creating music they are satisfied with, not necessarily to cater specifically to anyone, which is really, really good. And they are doing an amazing job. Toumei no Watashi is a good example. It is funky, it is fun. It is, for me, one of the best songs in 2023. I was surprised to find it here basically suggested, but actually there were more people suggesting Sir Vanity songs, so it is really good to see a really big group of people actually coming forth and saying, yeah, please review something from Sir Vanity. I do love the band, so to get an opportunity to review their music on video is actually something that I appreciate. So thank you very much, and in this case, let me check the name. Thank you very much, Unwelcome, for coming forth with Toumei no Watashi, which is easily one of the best songs released in 2023, and one of the best songs as well from Sir Vanity. So it is a double whammy in here of quality, and it is something that I fully recommend you to check if you do have the time to do so. The link is in the description, so that's not too much hassle to look for it, so do check it if you can. And of course, if you listened or watched this episode up until the end, Thank you very much for doing so, and I hope you enjoyed it until the very last minute. Of course, if you can't wait for the next episode, you will find linked in this episode the master playlist that features all the videos of all the editions of Review Advent Calendar. Do check them out if you can. There are plenty of surprises in there, and perhaps something that you will fall in love with that you didn't know existed up until now. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to find you on the next one. See you soon.